Hey everybody, this is Darkside Elite here, and this is another video about the CW, and I'm gonna give a good long set of reviews about the TV shows that I've been hearing about. I have not heard much about Supergirl, but what I'm hearing is it's a train wreck. It's not doing very well. It's losing on ratings. Um, it's on the verge of cancellation. Like I don't know what they're gonna do with this show. I'm gonna possibly create a video detailing what I would do with Supergirl and what I would do with Batwoman. I think I did a little bit of that here and there, but I'm gonna give you a full detail of what I would have done for this full first season of Batwoman and what I would have done for the first few seasons of Supergirl. And I hope that you guys enjoy. But this is about the CW on a whole and what they're doing and what I see in the future. One, let's go over the mainstay, the granddaddy of them all, Arrow. This season of Arrow is not that bad. I think that what they're doing is they're gonna fix what they did last season. They're gonna fix that whole Arrow Beyond storyline, and they're gonna make. I think what they're doing is they're gonna make Mia closer to the Green Arrow that we all know. I think they're gonna have her get rid of a lot of the weight of the fact of her father and the fact that her dad did a lot of bad things, but he was also trying to do a lot of good things. And he's gonna leave behind a strong legacy. And I think that no Novu did this as a thank you gift to Oliver, so he gets to know his kids now. He gets to know his daughter, and he hopes that he could change his daughter from going down a path just like him. And I think that when they first did this, I thought that this was the dumbest thing they ever did. I did not want to see a future version of Arrow. I think they should have did the events leading up to Crisis, like, hey, these are things that are going to be happening all the way up to Crisis. But it changed now because of certain events that happened because of Nora. Or you could have did some timey wimey. It's perfectly fine because Novu is bending reality and time and space however he wishes. He's a god. Now, Stephen Amell, he's doing a great job. I still stand behind the guy. I think that he's probably one of the best peer actors they got on the shows. The man's been around for a very long time. Um, I still feel that they need to get him closer to his Green Arrow roots, but this is the last season. It's perfectly fine now. He's a new Green Arrow, and I think that only TV fans are going to enjoy the character, but that we're not going to see that in comic books. They're not going to create that version of Green Arrow in the comic books. They did that already with the Arrow comic book, and they canceled it fast. They canceled it so fast after season 4. It was bad. They canceled it, and they said they were never going to do it again. And that was because of Tumblr and because of social media. It got so out of whack, and it completely tanked their sales, and they canceled the comic book. And I think that because of that, it really put a hurt on Stephen Amell and the rest of the cast, that people were getting pissed off over the fact that they don't like they're trying to make canon Arrow. They were trying to make Arrow canon, and they're like, no, don't, no, they're done. No, don't do this. So they canceled the comic. Now, certain elements from Arrow from Arrow did bleach into the DC comic universe, the DC comics. Diggle is officially canon in the DC comics. I don't think Felicity is, but it is what it is for right now. But this is about the season. Now, the few episodes that they showed to us, it was actually good. Now you have Oliver going across the multiverse trying to gather these items for Novu, and he's thinking like, okay, so this is gonna try to help prevent Crisis. But throughout the episodes, Oliver and so was John. They were getting information that states that Novu may not be the preventer of the crisis. He might be the cause of the crisis. He might be not preventing crisis to let it happen. He might be just allowing it to happen. Now, now Oliver is gonna go around the multiverse and try to figure out ways to kill Novu. And we now got Lila in the last episode she now betrayed Oliver and John and everybody else, and we don't know why. We honestly don't know why. And we know that, okay, here's how we know everything's fine. One, their future's intact. Their future's intact. So that means Barry's perfectly fine. They're going to survive Crisis. I'm sorry, not Barry's perfectly fine. Barry dies and prevents Crisis, so it doesn't destroy the multiverse. That's what happens. Barry does what he does and prevents Crisis from. I'm sorry, prevents the Anti-Monitor from destroying all of the multiverse, and they're perfectly fine. But I don't know what Layla knows. We don't know what's going on. So this last episode we got Lila betraying them, and she's telling them that you guys don't know what's going on and this and that. And I'm like, okay, well, that seems like it's a pretty tenseful situation. Um, and by Lila being the leader of Argus and being their quote unquote new Amanda Waller type, it makes absolute sense that she would have a little bit more insight about what's going on more than John and more than Oliver. That's what I think. Now let's get further into certain things. Now with Arrow, they did a really good job with. To me, they did a really good job with how Oliver was dealing with the fact of him meeting his daughter for the first time and him now being a father. And Mia, William already knows. He knows that his dad's gonna try to protect him at every point. But he now has his younger sister and his younger half sister, and they're trying to be a team together. And Oliver just sees two children. He doesn't see two adults yet. He sees his two kids, and he made a promise to both their mothers. And I don't like how they just eliminated Sam out of the situation. I think they should have said, I made a promise to both your mothers that I will keep you safe. And I would think that that would be a lot more relevant. Now, anybody can say, well, no, yeah, Sam's dead, and so is, but Felicity's still alive. But William is not biologically Felicity's son. That's Sam's kid, and she told Oliver to make her a promise to protect their son, and he made a promise for that. He promised to try to protect his son. So I completely disagree with the fact of him saying, I made a promise to your mother. I felt that she said, I made a promise to both your mothers. It should have sticked home to me, like, wait a minute, you're not my, wait a minute, you're my brother, right? He goes, yeah, we have the same dad, but two different moms. And she goes, like, whoa, dad? He goes, it was a long time ago. He kind of tells her, like, it was a long time ago. This is before he went to the island, right, Dad? He goes, yeah, it was before I went to the island, because I was a different man then. And now it made sense. So when they came, the next scene when they came and they said, hey, everything on the table, I'll tell you everything. And he talks about the island. It makes sense why Mia and William go, oh, he's a completely different man than he was before that island. Completely different. And that, to me, that makes a lot more sense to Oliver's character, and it will make more sense to the story if you'd said, if he's to the line of him saying, I made a promise to both your mothers. So then Mia will know that, oh, you're just my half brother. It doesn't deter the fact that they're blood related. It just goes, she probably thought all these years that's her brother, that's her, that this is Felicity's, that he's also Felicity's child. No, no, and we don't know if Felicity ever told her that. We don't know that. We could have made it where she goes, she got looks at me and goes, and he looks at her and goes, oh, so you didn't know? She goes, I've always knew. Like I know your other little secret. He goes, what? And she goes, a girl knows. And that line fits into CW. Like a girl knows. A girl knows when a guy's gay. To me, that makes a lot more sense. To me, it makes a whole lot more sense. But again, that's me, and I think that the show on a whole is doing good. I think that they're doing it's tight. It seems to me that they know how to do a half of the season, but for some reason when they go on a break and they come back, they completely write themselves into a plot hole situation, and it makes absolutely no sense. To me, these writers are better doing half shows, doing half episodes. I'm sorry, half a seasons. They're not good on full seasons. For Arrow, it was terrible. Um, but this is really good. So I'm hoping they keep it strong, and I hope they keep it tight, and they keep the story, the narrative of the story, moving forward at a good pace. The pacing is good. Um, I think that they did a really good job showing Mia getting trained by Oliver. Like, she's a good archer, she's good hand to hand combat, but she's nowhere near Oliver. She was amazed at how easily he took these guys down, and how easily he was able to shoot a bow and arrow. And again, Nissa taught um, Mia. Nissa taught Mia, and Mia is one of the highly trained assassins in the League of Assassins. But Talia is the one that trained Oliver. And Deathstroke's the one that also trained him, and so was Kimono, who was Lao Fei, and so was Shadow. Four people taught Oliver how to do hand-to-hand combat and archery. All Talia did was sharpen him down further, get him down tight and packed. That was it. Get his moves and everything down tight and packed. And then, of course, we have his story throughout the 8 seasons of Arrow. Now, the Flash. I don't. I'm not gonna say I don't like this season. I think this season is good. I think they're doing a little bit more comedy than they're taking it seriously. But I think they're doing a fairness of it. I think they're doing a little bit more comedy than keeping it straight. But there's certain elements in each episode they try to keep it straight down and tight to the fact of they're keeping it serious, and I think they're doing a good job. There's some they just go completely off the wall, and they go almost in Legends of Tomorrow territory in certain things, but other things they keep it nice and tight to the fact of the Flash. The only thing I don't like is they should have never did blood work. They never should have did blood work this early. I think they should have kept him, made him disappear, showed him up a couple of times, and then he's gone. Like, they get rid of him, but he's not gone. They make him go away for a little while. Um, and and I think that they should have spent this whole season dedicated to the Reverse Flash. The whole half of the season should have been all about the Reverse Flash. It should have been Matt Leshner's version of the Reverse Flash, and they're dealing with the ramifications of his version, and he's back, and they don't know why he's back, but they know he's back, and they're having to deal with him. And the last half of the season, it should be blood work, and then he should be the main villain of the whole next season. He should be a carryover villain for next season, because what he does is so damaging. It really does a lot. It does a lot. He does a lot of damage. And what I think is that they're trying to do blood work, and they're trying to make you ignore about Reverse Flash. So when he shows up in that moment of triumph, Barry goes, "Oh my God, now we got to deal with the Reverse Flash." Oh God, honestly, it should have been the Reverse Flash throughout this whole season. I'm sorry, first half of the season, all up to Crisis, and then they get rid of him, and he's quote unquote gone, and then you deal with blood work. Then you deal with blood work, and that would make a lot more sense. It would make a ton more sense. But this season is really good. They're focusing greatly on Barry, which is great. Focus on Barry. This is his story. They're doing a great job of him having to get everybody prepared for when he eventually has to die. And he's coming to terms with it. And that's perfectly fine. I want that. I want them to do this. I want it to be dire, because I do want this to come when he has to make that decision to run into the Speed Force to kill himself so everybody lives. Then the big switcheroo happens, and we're all going, "What?" We're all gonna be hella happy, hella freaking surprised about who makes the massive sacrifice. Everyone thinks that it's it's Oliver that makes the sacrifice. No, it's not going to be Oliver. It's not going to be Oliver. It's not going to be Oliver. To me, that would make absolutely no sense. It shouldn't be Oliver. It should be Jay Garrick or the 90s Flash. In my personal opinion, it should be either one of them that does the great sacrifice to prevent Crisis from happening, to destroy all the multiverse. And all Oliver did was he slowed it down. His death slowed it down. That's it. He just slowed it down to the point where they have now a new chance to prevent Crisis, prevent the Anti Monitor. That's all Oliver did. He gave them a chance. He gave them an opportunity. That's all he needs to do. So, in my personal opinion, I think that that's what they did. Now, one of the other show I'm not watching Legends of Tomorrow. I am not watching Supergirl. I'm hearing some bad things about Supergirl. Batwoman, I'll get to her last. But Black Lightning, I think that honestly, Black Lightning is quite possibly one of the best written shows right now on the CW. It makes a lot more sense. They're getting right down to the nitty gritty. They have a really strong villain in the ASA. They have a monstrous villain in Khalil as Painkiller. He is phenomenal. I think the actor is having a lot of fun with his character. He's sadistic. He's eloquent in his killings. He's just an all around great bad guy. And when it comes to terms about who it is that they're having to deal with and who did this, it's going to shake the foundations of that whole show, because Jennifer is where she's at right now because of the death of Khalil. And she's listening to this guy because he's telling her that, hey, this is what I'm doing, blah blah blah, and she's following suit. And now the whole thing with Khalil, and it comes to revelation that he stole Khalil's body and reanimated him and brought him back to life as a cyborg. Are you effing kidding me here? It's gonna blow the top off of everything. It's gonna be a root. And then on top of it, I hope that literally Painkiller gets away. I hope that this guy goes, the man that you knew is dead. It's all about Painkiller, and I'm going nowhere. And he gets away from the ASA. He takes out the chip that's controlling him, so they can't kill him. They cannot kill him. They can't kill him. And he kills almost all of them. He gets away. And but I want Tobias to be gone for a little while longer. I want him to be gone for a little while longer. I don't want. I love the actor. Marvin is doing a fun. Crodon is doing a grand job with Tobias Whale, but his character's been around for close to 2 seasons now, and he hasn't really done anything. He hasn't done something to the point where he could be a massive threat to Black Lightning. He can't physically take down Black Lightning. So it's like, why is he around now? What's his purpose? Nope. He even pumped himself more of the juice to make himself more powerful, and he still couldn't beat him. Nope. I'm good. Let him be that Kingpin type of character. Keep him in the shadows, keep him away from everybody, and bring in another villain. Bring in a really good, strong villain, and keep Painkiller. Painkiller is phenomenal. I'm sorry. If people disagree with me, that's perfectly fine. But that Painkiller, the new Painkiller is freaking dope. He is dope. I love his character. I love his character, and I think the actor is having a grand job with him. He's having a fun job with him, and it shows some good character acting he's doing. He's doing a great character actor he's a sadistic, sociopathic killer. He has no scruples, no qualms, no empathy towards anything. He just goes, nope, you're dead. And he has fun doing it too. He has fun killing. So I love Painkiller. But the story on the whole, I think that they're doing a great job with the ASA story, keeping everything locked down, the occupation. That Jefferson can't do anything, and I think that they're breaking Jefferson. I think they're breaking his will. He's gonna have a clause where he doesn't care. He doesn't care about anything. His wife left him again. His daughter, his Anissa and Jennifer are doing their thing right now. Anissa wants almost nothing to do with him. Jennifer is messing around with the ASA, and she's exposing her powers to people that might want to do harm. It's just like his whole family is in massive disarray, and he's not being the patriarch that's keeping everything together. He's trying to save Freeland instead of trying to save his family, and I think that's going to be a breaking point to the point when he meets these other heroes. He's going to play like I don't care. He has the most experience out of all of them. He's been Black Lightning for close to 20 years. He ain't caring. He has no care. And I think that's where they're going to build his character at. And then the new Kara, I don't know where Kara's her mentality at, but the way they're building she's getting darker and darker and darker. So I don't know where they're going to have her in Crisis. There's a lot of things going on with Supergirl that I'm pretty much keeping myself away from. I'm just dealing with the shows that I'm watching, and I have more review towards. So if you guys want to give me some information on Supergirl, and I'll talk about it, because I haven't seen anything, no reviews, no YouTube reviews, and I'm just hearing that the show is doing very, very, very bad. It's having Batwoman numbers, and I'll get to Batwoman in a little bit. But Black Lightning is doing very, very well, and I think it's probably it's their best written show in my personal opinion. I think that they're doing a really good job, and they're making every story feel tight and compact and right in your face. It feels like it's right there. Um, Now, Batwoman. What the hell can I say? I'm watching a couple of reviews, Geeks versus Babyface, Jay Longbone, and even Thorias Unlimited. They're doing their reviews, and they're just like they're almost about to peel their skins off because they're wondering why the heck are they watching this show. It's terribly written. One of them does like little um responses. She does a live response to the episode itself, and some of the stuff I've seen makes absolutely no sense. The characters make no sense. Kate is a complete B. She is a complete S, and also she's a complete C. She has little regard for anybody else's emotions. She gives little to no regards about anybody else's feelings. She cares about the things that she wants and F everybody else. And I feel that that's a badly written character, especially if that's going to be the main character of your story. You got to have somebody that serves a greater good on the cast, and no one on that show serves a greater good. They all have their own personal self interests. The only one that seems like they have nothing like that is Luke, and Luke is written more like freaking Mr. Terrific. He's bumbly, fumbly. He has no hand-eye coordination at all. He's just that doopy black guy that just is extremely smart, and that's terrible. That is a bad representation of the character. It's terrible. But hey, if that's the character that makes you guys chuckle and laugh at, then wow, you guys are in for a rude awakening if someone decides to give you the real Luke Fox. You're gonna be like, what the heck? You'd be like, yup, this is Luke Fox. He's a ladies' man. He's confident. He's egotistical. He's Machiavellian. He's like, he looks down on Kate, not because she's gay, but not because she's a woman. It's because you're an a-hole. That's how he will look down on her. He looks down on anybody that treats him like a piece of crap. The only person he truly listened to was Batman, because that's Batman. He listened to even the Robins because those are Robins. But he started becoming Batwing. Man, Luke Fox became his own personal hero, and he was good. He was a good hero. He was physical. He was a handsome debonair type of guy. It's like he's completely opposite of but also he is very intelligent. So he's the perfect package for any woman. He's the perfect package. He's smart. He's physical. He's a physical specimen. He's almost in the same vein as Bruce. Are you effing kidding me? It's stupid. To me, it's stupid. And they're writing these characters like they're bumbling and fumbling, they're idiotic, and they're in this situation because they're missing the great Kate Kane, and Bruce Wayne couldn't save his city because he needed Kate Kane. Oh my god, dude. All right, I'm gonna get off of that. Okay, that pisses me off. I don't like how people want to destroy Batman's character to prop someone else up. You can screw over Batman all you want and try to rebuild him, but destroy the legacy of Batman to prop someone else up because Batman couldn't do it, so they need me to do it instead. That makes absolutely no sense. Makes no sense. And the way they wrote the story makes absolutely no sense. That he could not answer the question of how that car fell over the ridge and kill his two family members, his distant cousins and aunts and his aunts and cousins, how that car fell over the bridge when he secured it correctly. Well, they're gonna revisit it and you're gonna say that, well, he didn't think of the tensile strength. Really? This is Batman. This is Batman. Meticulous. And he couldn't figure it out. Again, whatever. So again, Batwoman is written. This show is written for a 3-year-old. That's what this show is written for. It's literally there so you can shove popcorn or shove food in your face and laugh at this show and laugh at everything that they're trying to do. It's a pandering, self-interest show, and oh my god, dude. Oh my god. So I'm gonna leave it there. And like I said, these shows are uh, what they're gonna do in the future. This is what I think they're gonna do in the future. Batwoman is probably gonna get canceled. Supergirl is gonna probably get canceled. And um, there's a lot going on right now, and we have to figure that out. So the Flash. Hold on one second, guys. Sorry about that. All right, now the future. What are they going to be doing? To get back to my my references here. Um, for the future, I think that because Arrow's going to be gone, they're going to have to lean on the Flash, and I think that the smartest thing in the world to do is bring Black Lightning into this universe and also Supergirl into the universe because that's what we're hearing that they're bringing Supergirl into the Flash universe. I think bringing in Barry, I'm bringing in Black Lightning into this universe also and having it feel more natural. It's gonna make a little bit easier, and then the stories will make a lot more sense, and also the crossovers will be a little bit easier. But I think that Black Lightning should have lesser on the crossovers than anybody else because their shows filmed in Atlanta. Their shows are filmed in Atlanta. Um, all the other shows are filled up in Toronto. So that's why it's a lot harder. Um, but I think that'll be a much better thing to do. But having them in the same universe will make a little bit more sense. You can actually have Black Lightning or Thunder or Lightning while they're flying around doing their thing. They could easily fly over to Central City and try to help them out with a villain, or a villain from their show can go all the way down to deal with Black Lightning, and that'd be pretty cool too. So it's one of those things that they can easily share the heroes once in a while and not have to do a crossover. Just have a mini crossover where they come in and try to help, and then they go back to their respectable cities. That's what I think the future is trying to hold, and I think they're trying to make it feel all together, and that will actually be a lot better for them. And Batwoman, oh my god, dude. I'll get into Batwoman on another video. Right now, talking about it, it's gonna frustrate me. It's gonna really piss me off, and I don't want to do that for you guys. And I think that this show needs a much stronger showrunner and a better writing team. I think that this show, when I get into it, it's gonna benefit better from having someone that understands crime procedurals than anything else, and getting two showrunners, one that does a lot more crime dramas and the other one that does a lot of action adventure, and they can mix their ideas into one good solid story, and getting a writing team that can actually talk about it in the same vein as what their ideas are. And but the way they have it now, it just feels like this show is written to pander because a lot of the stuff in there makes absolutely no sense, and it makes no sense to physics. It makes no sense to the human anatomy, and it makes no sense to storytelling principles on a whole. Your main character is so self-centered in her own self-worth that she gives no care to anybody else except her own self-interest. what? At least with Oliver, with all of the BS crap that he did in the first season, he at least cared about John Diggle, or he cared about Felicity to the point where they grew on him to become a better person. We have yet to see that with this version of Kate. We have yet. She's coming up with a lot of stuff that makes no sense. But again, I don't want to lambast the show until I get a lot more information about if they make some changes in the second half. But its ratings look horrific. It looks bad. It looks like they should cancel this show, but they're granted a full season, so we have to see. So, in my personal opinion, Black Lightning is probably one of the best shows on CW right now. I'm thinking it is the best show on CW right now. Flash is a great second, and the Arrow is tied with it. I think Arrow's doing is just as good of a season as the Flash, but I think the Flash is starting to teeter off a little, mainly because they almost have no general direction, and also the show does not feel very comic booky. It feels like it's just a TV show. It doesn't feel like it has a good comic book essence levels of story. It feels also like it's pandering too. But again, that's just me. But it's still one of my favorite shows. I still love The Flash. I think Grant and all the rest of the team cast are doing a really good job with the characters. The introduction of Cynthia Horton was a good addition, giving Joe something. Ralph Denby is phenomenal. I think the actor that's playing Ralph Denby is great. I love Ralph, elongated man. Um, and we're gonna see what they go forward with it. Okay, but the worst show, from what I'm hearing, it's Batwoman and Supergirl, and that's terrible. And you're gonna try to do world's finest with the two of them. Good luck. That's a good effing luck. I mean, good luck with that, because a lot of people do not. A lot of people. I'm gonna say everybody. A lot of people do not care. You can have them team up all you want, but the way this show is written, the way Supergirl is probably written, I don't know. And again, I don't know, but in the way I see how they're doing Batwoman, oh boy, good luck. But like, comment, share, subscribe down below, hit that bell, and I'll try to get as many videos as I can out. It's been a very horrific day. It's been very hectic. Also, next week I'm most likely going to have maybe a couple of videos out, especially my Titans video. I will try to have that out if there's an episode. I kind of doubt it, because next Friday is Black Friday. So, but I know I'm gonna have one out for this upcoming episode. I'll have one out by next Friday, talking about this upcoming episode, like I always do. And I'll try to keep you guys apprised. And you guys have a great one. And hope to hear about. I hope Crisis is really really good. You guys have a good one. Bye.